Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about AGIX. We basically reached the first target here yesterday. Remember, we discussed AGIX for the very first time yesterday, and we talked about that I'm leaning here towards the yellow count, which means we had a peak in a wave 1 back in December. We came down in a wave 2 here in January. Peaked in a wave 3, also middle of January, came down here in a wave 4, possibly triangle of some sort here on the 1st of February, and then are now starting this possible fifth wave to the upside. So I'm going to move the white count out of the way because it might be confusing. First of all, I'm focusing on the yellow count, which means we could be in a fifth wave. And yesterday I talked to you about this structure here, that we only had 3 waves up. We really still only have 3. I mean, I can count it as 5 now, and we're going to talk about that. But in yesterday's video mentioned to you that this, obviously this triangle could have ended here, and that we had maybe a wave 1, a wave 2, that the wave 3 targets were absolutely fulfilled when we peaked here yesterday. We rallied actually, yeah. I think I made the video when we were around 27 cents, pretty much at the peak, at the local peak. And we talked about this could be a wave 3, that as long as we're holding the green support area here in a wave 4 and get the turnaround, that this could just be a wave 4 and we could rally in a fifth wave. And we talked about targets in the fifth wave. So let me just, I didn't rewatch the video to be honest, but I remember that we talked about the 28-29 cent level, being here the region between the 38.2 fib extension and the 61.8 extension. So that was a target. Then we talked about target wise here as the height of the triangle. It's just roughly, these are never 100% exact, but we talked about here breakout point target. I actually have that yellow line still there, of around 30 cents. I mean, we peaked yesterday to 29.4. So it was pretty close. At the moment, I don't have a strong signal that the rally is over yet, so this could still push higher. Maybe in an ending diagonal. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit unclear. If these structures develop like that, it's a little bit unclear what it could be. I mean, it could be wave 5 has peaked, we're already coming down, but I don't have any indication for that at the moment, especially as we're consolidating above the support. So I don't really focus on that at this stage unless I see a stronger signal. This here could still be a wave 5 in the making, and the thing is that we peaked here in 3 waves, as you can clearly see. So it's actually unlikely that this was already the wave 5. Now if something peaked in 3 waves, it could be that wave 4 is still unfolding, because we only had a very shallow wave 4 anyway. We only touched the 23.6 fib level. And that what we have here is an ABC, A wave down, B wave up, especially as the A wave seems to have been 3 waves as well. So 3, 3, and now a C wave down. Could very well be that it comes down a bit lower, but as long as it stays above 23.2 cents, we can still get that fifth. But a break below that would indicate it's gonna get difficult, yeah? Okay, so that's one possibility. And the other possibility is that the wave 5 is unfolding as a ending diagonal, which would be something like this, that we have this kind of channel, you know, maybe an expanding diagonal, and that the rally here, which was in 3 waves, was only the first wave. So this is a bit speculative at the moment, but we had maybe get something like that in 5 waves. So that's certainly a possibility. You often get these towards the end of a rally. So if I add that count, make it maybe yellow, we see it a bit better. And yeah, you know, this is sort of, let's say, possibility 1, and then we've got the other scenario where wave 4 is still in the making. Need to consider both. I think if we break here the trend line to the downside, we have to expect that wave 4 is still in the making. So we could say we had an alternative wave 4 here. And then we have support levels that are relevant of 24.3 cents and 23.2. Now I've decided to keep those not metaverse coins, AI coins for a little while. Yeah, that they are more a long-term investment, not long term, but you know, sort of into the bull run. So I'm not really interested here in a boring 4x or something, because I did buy, I can't remember, middle of January at some point. So a 2, 3 or 4x is not really interesting here for me, because I think these might have the possibility to do a 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50x. Now, I'm not telling you buy now. Yeah, you have to decide that eventually. I'm not telling you it will happen. It's purely identification of coins that could really do really well in the next bull run. And the AI coins, we covered them in a member live stream a few weeks ago, just in time before this pump here. And it's always funny to see, you know, because we had that rally here, and you know, sometimes these rallies they carry on for longer than it seems reasonable. Because I remember even here, I mean, I decided to put some money in there, and then you get the comments that, you know, I'm not going to buy into these green candles. Now, fair enough. That's a good point. But obviously then at some point, you know, you always miss this stuff. Now, I'm the person who always says, you know, I prefer when I trade, I want to buy into these pullbacks. So I wait for the pull. We had a pullback here, you know, you could have bought into the pullback. A lot of people did. But obviously it just, well, what I want to do is just to show you how sometimes these rallies can carry on and carry on and carry on. And the AI coin certainly outperformed many assets in the last few weeks. So it's very interesting. And it's good because, you know, if we get these 5 waves complete, then at least we have possible evidence that the trend has really changed from a long-term downtrend into an uptrend. And then if we get ABC down, yeah, in basically a wave 2, because this could be a wave 1 then. I think I'm going to go primarily with this count now anyway, wave 1. Then the wave 2 pullback could be a next, let's say, high probability entry point again, which I will use probably to scale up, depending on how much longer this carries on now without seeing a substantial retracement, because at the moment we don't have a strong signal that it will come down. It should do at some point because we have 5 waves now. But in a wave 2, I will scale up, and depending on how much this is going to carry on to the upside, I might also take some profits, because I did buy a few weeks ago, not too much, but then I did scale up here in this region. Mentioned that on Telegram and Discord, of course. But yeah, let's see how that's gonna carry on. Certainly AI coins, very, very interesting for what's to come. I personally still haven't understood why AI needs a coin, but I think it's not really about that. It's a bit about the hype, isn't it? And so yeah, hopefully you liked the update about AGIX. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.